Hi, Northland family. I have a suggestion and I have a question. First, the suggestion. Have you ever kept a journal? If not, may I suggest that you start one? I began keeping a journal over 30 years ago. I started by using spiral bound notebooks and then moved to keeping a journal on my computer. There are all kinds of ways to keep a journal. What has worked for me is very simple. I begin by writing down the date, then asking myself a question. Where am I? Although I write down my physical location, such as Monument or Colorado Springs or where am I is more than a physical location. It's where am I in life? I may be excited or angry, depressed, worried, or any other range of emotions. I then spend time in the scriptures, followed by prayer. Part of my time in prayer will focus on where am I in life at that particular time. After my time in prayer, I write down question number 2. What is God saying to me? Specifically, I try to hear from God what He has to say to me about where I am. I try to hear from God. You still believe that God speaks to us today? Oh, He does indeed. I encourage you to pray and learn to listen to His voice. Occasionally, I go back and read my journals. It's amazing to see how faithful God has been to Susan and I and our kids through the years. I have found reading these journals to be very encouraging and a great lift to my faith. So first, a suggestion. Keep a journal. Second, ask yourself a question. What is God trying to teach me during the pandemic that we're all experiencing? This is a moment in our history unlike anything I have ever lived through, and perhaps most of you can say the same thing. As we journal, in the years to come, we'll be able to look back and see God's faithfulness to us during this unprecedented time in our history. Spend time journaling and listening to God. I have found it to be life-changing, and I think you will too. Now, allow me a couple of announcements. First, continue to pray for an end to this horrific virus. Pray that God would eradicate it worldwide. Second, please continue to pray for our Northland family. Pray for everyone's health. Pray for the necessary finances for our families. Third, please let me know if you need anything. As I have mentioned before, we have people in our church who have volunteered to help, and we'll do all we can to help you. Fourth, I'm going to try and do my very best to keep you informed of when we'll be able to meet together again. I do know that our governor has banned all meetings of more than 10 people through the end of May, so obviously we'll not be meeting in May. When we do begin meeting together again, some things may be different. I just don't know yet, but we might have to sit further apart. As much as I like to hug everyone and encourage you to hug others, hugging is going to be something we're not going to be able to do for a while. Snacks probably won't be offered. We will indeed have coffee because you can't have church without coffee. So eat well before you come to church. These are just a few of the things that's going to be different. You can be sure that our building will be clean and more disinfectant used than perhaps any other time in our history. I'll keep you informed weekly as we move forward. Finally, and I say this in most of the videos I put out, I want to thank you so much for your faithfulness in giving. You know, expenses of our church continue even though we're not meeting. So give online at mynorthlandchurch.org. You can look at the giving tab in the upper right-hand corner, or you can mail your checks to 216 Jefferson Street in Monument, 80132. You know, one of the many things that this current pandemic has taught me is the extreme importance of community. I miss you all greatly. I can't wait until we're together again. I love you, church. Stay encouraged.